Happy Sunday. I hope your day is off to an amazing start. Guys, I apologize. I got to be difficult for a hot second because I'm having a little trouble getting my live stream going on Facebook. Not sure what happened. Entered in all my info and my stream key. Went a little hectic on me, but that's all right. We are going to make it happen. We're going to just share our YouTube video to Facebook, right? Make it easy on ourselves. And then we will dive in. All right. Share. Let me just copy that real quick. And roll with the punches, right? Happy Sunday. I hope your day is off to an amazing start. Guys, I'm really excited to dive into Align Your Vibe. And what we're going to do is start doing these every Sunday and every Wednesday. I am committed to do these for the next, at least for the next 3 months through the end of the year, because there's some things I'm ramping up for personally, and getting here, being with you also helps me to align my personal vibes. So love spending this time together. So what we're going to do is on Sundays, we're going to focus on aligning your personal vibe. And then on Wednesdays, we're going to focus on aligning your vibe with your business. Or let me rephrase that. Aligning your business with your highest vibration. So I'm excited. Let's go ahead and dive in. Number one, before we get started, guys, you know the deal. Social it up. Anytime you hear me see or post the word social, that means stop what you're doing, grab a glass or a bottle of water, chug a lug, and then hit like when you're done. So let's go ahead and make it happen. Now, y'all, I want to give you a heads up and just pre-apologize. My neighbors are, I don't know what's going on, but they're having a lot of fun today, and my dog thinks it's his job to tell them what to do, where to go, and how to do it. So I apologize if there's a ton of background noise, but I'm going to do my best to keep it at a minimum. In the meantime, let's go ahead. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, God. Thank you, Source, for all the amazing guidance and direction you give us every single day. We ask that you make this message clear and concise, make it applicable so anyone who hears it or any portion of it knows exactly what it is that their spirit has for them. All these many wonderful blessings we ask in unconditional love. Amen. All right. So today, guys, we are going to play with let me grab it here, with our Osho Zen Tarot deck. And it is a tarot deck, but just heads up, I tend to read this deck as an oracle deck. I find that with most of my tarot cards, reading them as oracle cards just works a little bit better for me and for my flow. So we're going to make it happen. So bear with me one brief sec while I take a glancer around and see what we have going on. And yeah, I think we're good. I think we are where we're supposed to be. All right, super excited. Let me move this screen over to this monitor. That way I can catch your comments. That's helpful, right? All right. Here we go. Let's go ahead and dive in. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, God. Thank you, Source. And actually, before we get started, let's go ahead and clear the deck. And while we're clearing the deck, y'all, do me a favor. I don't care if you're live or if you're watching this recorded later on. Put your feet flat. They don't necessarily have to be flat on the ground, but I just want you to put your feet flat. And even if you're propped up on the couch or in bed or wherever is comfortable, and begin to ground yourself. Let's anchor in. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Begin to clear your energy field. Send love. Receive love. All right. And let's dive in. Thank you, Spirit. What message do you have for us today? What is in the realm of alignment? What message do you have today? Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Source. The message is it's in and around clarity of action. I'm hearing the words clarity and I'm hearing the words action taking. So there's where we can take, there are times where we take logical action and times where we take intuitive action. And what I will tell you is it's been my experience these last 5 years that the more intuitive action I take, the less action I have to take. Does that make sense? Sometimes, y'all, we get in the habit of taking action for the sake of taking action. Like, oh my gosh, as an adult or as a business owner or as a grown person, or as a woman or as a man, I need to do this and I need to do that. And we start taking action and we do things that sometimes we think are logical, but it ends up taking us on this like big loop outside of where we were headed and needed to go and what have you. What I find is that if you take intuitive action, right, you always find yourself in the perfect spot. Like, there is no wrong move, by the way. A lot of people, the biggest thing that I hear is like, I'm scared of following my intuition for fear that I'm making the wrong move. And the fact of the matter is, when you're in your intuition, there is no wrong move. Your intuition, no matter where you're at in life, right, whether you're 100% on track or somewhere out in left field, it's always guiding you to your highest good. It's always guiding you to your highest good. So you never have to worry about making a wrong move. If you make there we go, one fell out, what we'll call a misaligned move, then in that space, your spirit is still always guiding you back to the exact direction, right? So you never have to worry about getting off track. And the beautiful thing about it is there's always lessons learned. Guys, one thing I love about lessons learned, one more, I was thinking we were getting 3, we're getting 4, is even when it hurts, it's a level up, but it doesn't have to hurt. Thank you, Spirit. All right, let's dive into our first card. We have Patience. And let's see what we've got going on here, y'all. Patience. And again, this is our Osho Zen Tarot deck. Let me see if we can get some light on this bad boy. Woo! Is that a little much? That might be a little much light. All right, y'all can see it. Let's do something, a little something like this. Okay, actually, that's going to be what it is. All right, so what I love about this card is called Patience. And so what do we have? We see this beautiful pregnant goddess, right? Beautiful pregnant goddess. Oh, the glare is a little much on that. And so with her, we've got all of this rainbowy color around us. So that's just a symbol of life, right? Just recognize that as a symbol of life when it comes to these cards. And here, guys, I'm going to try and put some more light on it. I'm not sure if that's helping. And then look at this. We've got this beautiful lunar cycle. We've got this beautiful lunar cycle. And so really in this Patience card is it's like, when you have an idea, when you've got something that you want to give birth to or something that you want to do, that it all happens in the perfect timing. And so a lot of times, guys, we get things and we talk about, wanting to make moves, right? We get excited about it. We're inspired. We want to make moves. And what happens is we start to try and push it out there and we force and we're making logical moves, completely misaligning ourselves and wondering, why is it? I've got everything I need. I'm doing it right. I'm following the gurus. But for whatever reason, my program isn't launching or my idea isn't working or the thing isn't going according to plan. And a lot of times it's because we're moving outside of alignment. We're moving in not in the perfect timing. We haven't moved in the right cycle. And the thing about this is recognize this is a gestation period. So when you've got that first aha, that idea, that thing you want to do or where you want to be or who you are or what you want to change or the thing that you're moving towards, just remember that there's always a gestation period. And the thing that we tend to do in our logical mind is full of lack and fear, right? It's full of lack and fear. And what happens is it goes, we need to do this right now because what happens if I miss out on this opportunity? What happens if I don't have enough? And Spirit is saying, slow down. Everything occurs in perfect timing. And when you're tuned in to everything around you, when you're living life at its fullest, when you're truly experiencing that place of patience, and there's a lot of peace within patience as well, y'all. But when you're experiencing that, then you find yourself in the perfect place to give birth to the idea at the right time. You find yourself in the perfect place where you're talking to the person who can help you to develop that idea at the perfect time. You know what I'm saying? This is all about waiting, being patient, knowing that everything happens in perfect time, right? The bun is in the oven. Let it continue to gestate, to grow, to develop. In that space of patience is where a lot of clarity comes. A lot of clarity. And one thing I will say, as an intuitive business owner and as someone who works with a lot of high performers, um, this thing, a lot of times that happens is we get really excited. We get really pumped. And again, we get filled with fear and lack that it needs to happen right now. And if I don't get this done right now, and blah, 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 and we don't trust our intuition. And we just end up either doing way too much or finding ourselves in the complete wrong position at the wrong time, wrong place, wrong time. Or people just simply aren't receptive to it because our energy isn't aligned with what they need in that moment, right? So slow down. Allow the idea to develop. Allow the clarity to come. Allow your intuition to move through you. And when the time is right, you will give birth to what it is. I love this. Now, this is kind of funny that this comes, right at the end of, right after patience, because this card is intensity, right? And the thing about this card is this is all about recognizing that you are in a really, for lack of a better word, intense space. You're in a really, your energy is in a really focused, expansive direction. The one thing I wish this card kind of did was it moved like this, right? The thing of it is that you're not moving laterally, you're moving up, right? You are in such an intense energy that you are like you're leveling up at a really expansive space, at a really fast pace. Now, the thing about being at such an intense energy is to recognize that there are going to be times where you being who you are and being so tuned into what it is that you're doing that you're going to create waves, right? He's intense, and so he's got this this these waves behind him, this wake pattern behind him. And so the thing of it is that some people are going to ride the wave with you, and other people you're going to ruffle their feathers. But at the end of the day, it's okay. The only thing you're here to focus on is you and your intensity and the place that your intuition is taking you, right? And that's the cool thing to recognize about intensity is sometimes we are so gung-ho, we are so ready to go, we are so pumped to make a change in the world, we are so amped to get our thing or our project or our new way of being or start our new diet or whatever to get it out there. But to recognize that in this place of intensity, when you stay focused, when you stay centered, when you stay aligned, that you move this intensity, it helps to move you into the place of gestation the place of, of giving birth, right? So don't get so caught up in the intensity that you move unnecessarily. Additionally, allow yourself to be patient within this space. Things grow within this space. Let me give you an example. With about 2 months ago, I bought some new grow lights for my plants. And the thing that I've noticed is now that they're sitting under a specific light cycle throughout the day, they are growing like crazy, right? And of course, plants, we know certain plants or most plants grow at specific times of the year, right? So the thing of it is I don't have to force the plants, even though for the first 2 months I didn't see the actual physical growth on the plants. What I noticed now when I went back and looked, especially in my plants that are potted in glass jars, is that the intensity actually went deeper, right? The roots actually went down and they grew a lot deeper. A lot of my roots got a lot bigger, a lot thicker, a lot longer, a lot deeper. And now that they're a lot deeper, guess what? Now the plant itself on the external is manifesting in more growth. So recognize during this gestation period, this is you being anchored. This is you being rooted. This is you aligning everything or that is supposed to be in space with the baby. So let me give you an example. Sometimes we have new projects that we want to launch within our businesses. And so we feel like we have to do video and we have to blog and we have to do sales calls and we have to do this and we have to do that. And it has to look like this and it has to do like that. And because we're full of this intensity, of this passion, of this fire, and we start doing things that are not in alignment with what we're called to do. You might be called to do video and video only. You might be called to launch your project. I have a beautiful girl on my Facebook page, or woman, I should say, on my Facebook page right now, who's been launching her programs strictly through Facebook posts. And they are so powerful. I have not read one blog. I have not watched one video, but she has converted me. You know what I'm saying? So to make moves that are in alignment with who you are, to release the project, the thing, the idea, the situation in its perfect timing, and understanding that in this place of intensity, some people are going to ride the wave with you. Other people are going to feel the ripples and they're not going to like it. And that's okay. It's not that we're here to say screw other people who aren't in alignment with us. It's that we stay in alignment with ourselves. You feel me? We stay in alignment with who we are. We stay in alignment with ourselves. And when we're in alignment with ourselves, by default, this just manifests. And really what this is, giving birth to the baby, this is the manifestation. It happens in the perfect time. It happens in the perfect cycle, right? For our third card, y'all, inner voice. Oops. Yeah, inner voice. I want you to see this. This beautiful, beautiful card. So this, by the way, is one of the reasons why we go to the beach. This is why we coach from the beach in the Caribbean, because something about being in and near water, oh my gosh, it really just it really starts to allow that intuitive side to flow. And then also look at this card, y'all. We've got the dolphins playing. This is a real light-hearted open space, and we've got all of this intuitive clarity. We've got this this crystal going on in here, amplifying. We've got these flowers of life going on, these seeds of life. What do we see when we look at this? I see a lot of newness. I see a lot of clarity. I see a lot of understanding, but it all happens through the inner voice. It all happens through the inner voice. So the question is, okay, Sharita, you're saying I need to get in alignment. I need to get in alignment. When I get in alignment, then I get the clarity, I get the understanding, I get the knowledge. So how the hell do I get in alignment? Well, check it. Here's how you get in alignment, by listening to the inner voice. Okay, well, that sounds all fun and dandy, but how do I listen to the inner voice? And look at this. We've got like this whole completeness of the moon. And anytime I see any type of disc, moon, sun, for me, that represents a rise in consciousness. This is a rise in consciousness. So the thing that I want to really focus on right in here is look at these dolphins. This is a playful time. So I want you to think about where in your life where you feel the most playful, you have the most fun, and you get the most, and that's a lot of times where you get the most intuitive clarity. So let me give you an example, which you already know. For me, that's being on the beach, right? When I'm on the beach, I feel the most free. I feel the most centered. I feel the most grounded. I feel the most me. That is a space where ideas just start to flow, where I get this feeling of inner knowingness, right? Even without knowing. So really what I want you to do is to take some time, and obviously you don't have to do it right now, but to really dive into yourself. Think about what it is, like, where am I when I feel the most peaceful? For some people, it might be at the beach. For other people, it might be in the mountains. For others, it might be while I'm hiking, while I'm playing with my kids, while I'm sitting in the backyard, while I'm sitting on the mower mowing the backyard, while I'm in the pool. It could be in the shower. I'm not even going to lie. Some of my biggest inspiration, quietly, my best content comes from when I'm on the potty. What I'm getting at with this card, y'all, is that the thing of it is get into that playful, that carefree space. When you're in the carefree space, when you're in the space of having fun, when you're in the space of not being worried, not feeling lack, not feeling anger, not feeling frustration, guess what? That's where alignment flows. Your natural state of being is wellness. So when we are outside of our natural state of being, our intuition is still flowing to us, but guess what? It's it can be a lot harder to hear because our logical mind is yelling at us. Do this, do that, counteract this, preempt that when really all we had to do was sit back, relax, chill, have some fun, and let our intuition guide us. When you clear out the noise, right? That's when you get to hear the inner voice clearly. The inner voice is always there and it's always talking to you, but until you identify that inner voice, it's hard to pinpoint it down. The best place to hear it is when you're having fun, right? Inspiration comes out of yucky things, but a lot more aligned and intuitive intuition comes out of that place of peace, of clarity, of feeling sound, of feeling whole within. Things just kind of emerge from us. And the thing of it is, y'all, here's I just kind of want to give you a little heads up on this. The thing of it is a lot of those things emerge from within when we're in a happy space, and we tend to dismiss them. We have ideas, we have thoughts, we get urges, we get inklings to go do something, to call someone, to be somewhere, and we dismiss it because we just think it's like an idea or it's a passing fancy. And sometimes we put ourselves in the situation where we're looking for an answer, we're looking for something, but we're so focused on it coming in a certain way that we dismiss all the other ways that it can come. Prime example for a lot of business people, a lot of business oriented people, where we get so accustomed to being focused on business that we expect the solution to come in this very rigid form. When spirit says, no, I know you're looking for an answer for your business, so I need you to go have fun so that you can open up and begin to see the adjacent possibilities. When you're having fun, all that other ish that's rolling around through here begins to clear out, and the aligned, right? Because our natural state of being is wellness. So that aligned wellness idea that's for our business, for our family, for our health, what we're supposed to be eating. What is it that my body needs in this moment? I'm not sure what's going on. All that information comes through alignment. So guys, there's a lot of times where I always say intuition over logic, right? Because when I go and play and have fun, this is again why I tend to play Xbox before I get in the office. Because when I loosen up and I have fun, my vibration, right? It's in a completely different space, and I'm not focused on all the crap and all the drudge and what has to get done. I'm focused on, I'm excited, I'm having fun. When I come into the office, I'm in a playful space. That is in alignment with my highest good. Frustration, fear, lack, urgency, there's not enough time. That's not in alignment with my highest good. The easiest way to get in alignment is just to go and have fun. For some people, sitting down and meditating is great. For others, not so practical, right? So for you, going out and walking and having fun, playing with the kiddos, getting in that carefree vibe, and then taking that vibration into your work will allow that flow to coincide with your work, right? And then again, it allows you to find yourself in front of the right people in the right place at the right time, because it doesn't always make sense, but it does always work out. All right, we have one more card to this, and this card, oh my God, you guys, this is the perfect topper to this message. Rebel. The Rebel. The Rebel. I love this. Okay, so let's dive into this card. So one of the things I actually want to do something. I want to get some specific things out of this card. Let's see. Give me a hot second, please. Okay, the Rebel. The powerful and authoritative figure in this card is clearly a master of his own destiny. On his shoulder is an emblem of the sun, and the torch that he holds in his right hand symbolizes the light of his own hard-won truth. Hard-won truth. This symbolizes his truth, his hard-won truth. This is a big deal, guys. Whether he is wealthy or poor, the Rebel is really an emperor because he has broken the chains of society's repressive conditioning and opinions. He's the emperor just for the simple fact that he's broken the chains. This isn't a physical thing or a financial thing. You start to win when you start to break the chains of society's repressive and conditioning opinions. He has formed himself, he has formed himself by embracing all the colors of the rainbow, emerging from the dark and formless roots of his unconscious past and growing wings to fly into the sky. His very way of being is rebellious, not because he's fighting against anything or anyone, but because he has discovered his own true nature and is determined to live in accordance with it. He has discovered his own natural state of wellness that is unique unto him, and he has chosen to align himself with his highest. To live, he is determined to live in accordance with it. The eagle is his spirit animal, the messenger between earth and the sky. The rebel challenges us to be courageous enough to take responsibility for who we are and to live our truth. Take responsibility for who we are and to live our truth. So really, y'all, when we talk about this, oh, thank you, Spirit, for the full alignment of this message. So excited. So excited. We're not excited, we're excited. All right, let's zoom out a little bit. Okay, I want to be able to see it all. So really, guys, what we have here is Spirit talking about really anchoring it down with, at the end of the day, what it boils down to is honoring your space, honoring your truth, being true to you, being true to yourself, right? To your message, to your calling, to what it is you were called to this earth to do. So what's amazing is Spirit saying that everything happens in the right time, that your intuition is flowing through you, it's speaking to you. And the reason why I keep talking about projects or ideas is because I know the types of people that I attract, and I know the types of people that I work with. I work with leaders, I work with top performers, I work with people who oftentimes get a lot of really great inspiration, but they have lived so far into the corporate world or into they've been so conditioned as to what things look like that they are in a place of discomfort and frustration. Like, how I have this thing that I want to do, but I feel trapped in this place. And how do I get from A to B, right? How do I get from where I am to what I know I'm called to do? And a lot of it is really embracing the thing that it is that you're called to do, becoming patient and taking comfort in knowing that everything always happens at the perfect time, right? And recognizing, taking comfort in your place of intensity and knowing that at this level of intensity, as you're working to become the rebel, and again, you're not fighting against anyone or anything, you're standing to be within your truth, that you create waves. Some people are going to ride those waves with you, some people aren't. So, for example, those of you who have current audiences and your Spirit is calling you to preach, teach, serve in a new way, some of your audience is going to ride with you. Some of your audience isn't, but that's okay. It's okay. Take comfort in knowing that it's all going to happen. And those new people who are coming are going to come in the right timing. But all you have to do is just listen to your inner voice. Your inner voice is going to guide the direction of your intensity. Sometimes, guys, we get so focused on the physical aspect of launching a project or an idea or doing something new that we completely forget to get into this intuitive space and to listen to the thing that planted the seed within us in the first place, right? Your intuition is guiding you every moment of every single day. You were called on this earth to do something, right? You were here for a reason. A lot of times we feel so frustrated, so confused, so misaligned, so unfulfilled because we know there's been this seed planted in us. It's growing, but oftentimes we haven't taken the time to really dive into it and see what the fuck it is. What is it? What is it that's rooting within me? Because remember, it roots first. Like we talked about with the rebel, he was rooted and then he sprang forth. Like I told you with my plants, they've got the intensity of the new lights on them, the new grow lights. But the first 2 months, they took their time rooting, getting stronger. They were biding their time. Now the physical manifestation of that anchoring, of that grounding, of anchoring into who they truly are. In this case of the plants, they've truly anchored into the pots that they're in, right? They're at home now. For you, this is truly anchoring into the being who you are, the one that is no longer bound by society's thoughts and rules and in oppressive conditioning. So oftentimes, guys, this is like, well, I have this thing that I want to do, but it doesn't match what I've been doing, and I'm afraid what people will think. I'm afraid of being different. I'm afraid of looking different. I'm afraid it won't go according to plan. And Spirit saying, yo, all you got to do is go within, because I'm going to guide you to make sure that you release it in the way that's in alignment with you in your highest spirit, right? Because we're not fighting against anything. We're moving in alignment with our highest self, with your goddess self, with your God self, little g, right? Nobody be offended, little g. We're moving in alignment with our highest good. All you got to do, go have fun. So Abraham Hicks talks about this, right? When you want to manifest something, go get in the vicinity of it. Go find the vibration that gets you close to it, right? And then carry that vibration through. Woo! In this case, we're going to go have fun. Because this thing that Spirit called you to do, this seed that Spirit planted within you to give birth to, isn't a chore. It's not a burden. Right? The thing society says that to serve at your highest equals a burden. That I have to cast away all my earthly possessions in order to serve and follow at my highest, right? Your highest earthly possession, it isn't your car, it isn't your house, it's your ego. It's your ego. Ego's not a bad thing. It's here to support us. But when it's unbalanced, unchecked, and unhealed, it lashes out in fear and lack, in anger, in disappointment. When we're in alignment with this place, when we surrender our ego to our spirit, that's when we start to break the chains of, oh my God, I'm concerned. What if it doesn't look like everybody else's? Who gives a fuck if it doesn't look like everybody else's? It's not supposed to. It's supposed to look according to you. And as it looks according to you, your spirit, it continues to move you in your intensity in alignment with the right people at the right place at the right time. How do I get in alignment? Go have fun. Go have fun. I know, y'all, you're like, Sharita, seriously, go have fun. Are you telling me that that's all I have to do to get in alignment? Yes, go get in the vicinity of the thing that you want to accomplish, right? Not the thing that you think that you have to do to get to the thing that you want to accomplish, but the thing that you want to accomplish. So, prime example, let's say I want to manifest being a millionaire, right? Just broad example. So the best way to do that is to sit down and your answer is going to be different from everyone else's, right? So you have to think about what that represents for you. What does being a millionaire represent to you? So, for example, for me, having $1 million sitting in my bank account right now represents, when it really boils down to it, because I start thinking about all the things that I could buy, that I could do, how I could serve with that money. I mean, let's keep it real. I thought about the things I could buy for me, and then I thought about the ways that I could serve the world, right? I'm gonna keep it real. But what that really, so I have all these things and I'm able to help others, but what does that represent? And so when I worked my way back, at the end of the day, the $1 million for me represented having options. Right? Because when I've got $1 million to spend versus $10 or $10,000 or even $100,000 to spend, $1 million goes a lot farther. I can get more things. I can get bigger things, right? So for me, it represents options. I can do more with it. So how do I get in the vicinity of that $1 million? I start looking around my life and seeing where I have options. Additionally, I start looking around my life and I start seeing where I can create more options. Because sometimes, y'all, we get stuck in this space right here of being chained down, where we've got this laser focus. What is it that I'm doing? Where am I going? Well, society says that I have to do A, then B, then C, then D, all the way to Z. When Spirit's like, nah, homie, we've got intensity. When you're in alignment, oh, now's the time. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to guide you from A to C. We're going to skip to F, down to M. We'll stop by P real quick, hit S, and then we land at Z. Sometimes you're so intense where Spirit just takes you from A to Z. I always like to kid, like I have a friend who's a Pisces, and I always tell, I'm like, dude, I swear you just think about something and you manifest it in the real world, right? Her alignment is that intense. Her level of alignment is that intense. And really, okay, Spirit's saying, really, this isn't just a level up. This is also an increase, an intensification, an intensity in your alignment with your inner rebel. Your inner rebel is not fighting against anything or anyone. Your inner rebel is working to stay in alignment with your personal self. One of the things, guys, I've really focused on these last 2 weeks, I just want to share with you, is, and this works great anytime you have a new project, especially if maybe you have failed at something like this in the past, weight loss, fitness, health, nutrition, business launches, anything like that. I find what I was doing personally was I kept looking back to even the good times, and I'd say, how do I recreate that? How do I recreate that? Or how do I avoid what happened in the past? How do I do something different? How do I do something different? And what I realized in that moment, or, you know, in the last few weeks, was that I was fighting the old, right? But that's not what the rebel does. The rebel doesn't fight the old. The rebel's all about being in alignment to create the new. So what I really had to remind myself was to get back into this space of alignment. It's not about changing the bad habit. Fuck the bad habit. Fuck it. It's about creating the new habit that's in alignment, right? It's not even so much that it's the good habit, because what's a good habit for you might not be a good habit for me. It's about me creating the habit that's in alignment with it. One of the ways that I create habits, or that I find that habit, is I gotta go look and see what my options are. And I piece and choose things together. What works for you doesn't necessarily work for me. What works for me doesn't necessarily work for you. But I gotta be willing to go out and have fun and to play and explore, to go on an adventure, to see what does work for me. I gotta be willing to break out of the normal routine. Even though all the gurus online said do A, B, and C, my spirit actually said go C, then A, then Z. Right? Because it's in alignment with my highest good. So focus on creating the new versus fighting the old. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and wrap up for today. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Source. Thank you so much for being here. But before we go, I want to make sure we social it up one more time. So grab your glass of water, chug a lug, boop, hit like when you're done. Thank you, Spirit. So I think, guys, the other thing that we will do is we've got a lot of fun things coming up starting at the beginning of November. And so at the beginning of November, we are going to start doing personal cards again, probably on the first Sunday and first Wednesday of the month. So that way we can keep it straight. And that way we're also not here for like 2 hours, right? I love you lots. I wish you an amazing day. Peace, love, hair grease, all that good jazz. Meet me back here Wednesday morning. We are going to actually go really early and we are going to align your vibe and do align your business with your vibration, with your highest vibration. So we're going to be focused more on business alignment, and we'll do another oracle reading and make it happen. Talk to you soon. I love you lots. I look forward to seeing you Wednesday. Take care.